we have the current stock market update for Canopy Growth Corporation, stock ticker CGC. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So what we're looking at here is the daily time frame. We recently covered this stock, and it did look as though it was starting to bounce a bit here. But one of the problems that we were seeing with this current price formation here was the fact that the share price itself was starting to show some evidence of decline at a very important Fibonacci retracement level. So if we sort of drill into this price chart, we will look at some of these specific price zones and try to figure out what is most likely to happen next with this stock. So as we can see here, if we're looking at this major trend wave here from $8.65 down to $3.85, that would essentially be this price movement here. We can see that the stock has seen some fairly significant bounces here, but what has occurred at this point is that we have run right into the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level of this trending move. So this is the price zone that we were pointing out in the prior video. And I was saying that this was a concern here because if we don't break above this level, the suggestion here is that this could be a major failure point, and that the stock could start to head lower. And as we can see here, this has actually occurred. I mean, we haven't, we have not broken above that 38.2% retracement zone, and this failure has been fairly pronounced. So, there is a lot of movement here to the downside. Now, this is a marijuana company that is a bit controversial in nature. I personally think that there is a tremendous amount of growth in these types of companies. Legalized marijuana might seem like old news to some people. I believe that Colorado first legalized marijuana in 2012, so it's not exactly new information, but there is still a large percentage of the United States where it is still illegal. And in my opinion, that does suggest that there is a tremendous amount of earnings growth potential that can still be tapped into. So I'm not against these stocks as an idea. Even if you disagree with a stock, I don't think that you should be, short selling it or anything like that. I mean, for example, if you say you're against a cigarette company or something like that, and you don't believe in cigarettes, but you do have a belief that the stock itself is going to move higher. Personally, my belief is that you should still buy the stock and then collect whatever gains you make from that trade. And then if you really, want to, fight against the cigarette companies or something like that, you can donate the money to a lung cancer research organization or something like that. That's really how I look at the market. I don't look at stocks, as like good or bad or something like that. I look at them as, are they going up or are they going down, type of thing. Like, is there potential here or not? So even if you don't necessarily agree with a company like this, so for example here, like you could maybe invest in the stock, and then maybe if you don't agree with the stock, you could donate the money to an anti-drug abuse charity or something along those lines. This is basically how I look at these things. So, but at the moment here, this major failure here is a major concern. And this is something that I pointed out in the prior video. And this is why I sort of recommended staying away from it at the moment, even though it did look like we could be in the process of a turning point here. Overall, I don't really think that there's a tremendous amount of upside in this stock in particular. I was looking into the financials a little bit, and you could see a little bit more upside here in this name specifically, but I don't think that I would specifically get into Canopy Growth. But from a chart perspective, for people that are interested in getting into this stock, first for me, what I would need to see is a break of this prior resistance zone. Because now you have the fact that this is a point of historical resistance as well as a major Fibonacci zone. So you've got sort of two failures here that are occurring in the same area here. And then in addition to that, this most recent move lower has now broken through support, which came in right around $4.80. So this most recent price low, we are seeing a bit of a bounce here off of roughly 460. I can sort of put that in here. So it does look like, there is some decent support in this area. But, the real question is whether or not this more recent rally has actually run its course. So to make that determination, the first thing what's very interesting bounce here. The first thing that I would look at here would be the trend wave movement of this most recent trending move here, and you can do this because now we've started to see a major failure point, and it is very interesting here because this bounce that is occurring at the moment is right at the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement zone. I mean, that's exact. I mean, it's amazing how some of these charting signals actually work. This is also a bit of a resistance turn support zone that we can see from roughly back here. So this would be the price high from October 18, which would now be expected to work as support because it's being tested. It was broken and then now it's being tested from the top side. So you do have sort of two signals here working in combination with each other. So not really much of a surprise here that we would see a bounce. But the question at this point is whether or not that bounce has completed. There, on a very short-term time frame, if we were to move down to, a shorter-term 15-minute price chart, for example, we can see here that there is some additional resistance that is slightly overhead. So on the 15-minute price chart, we've got these two moving averages here. This would be the 200 period exponential moving average and the 100 period. And we are sort of running right into that area just as we're facing prior historical resistance zone. So that's a sort of a bad combination here from a short-term perspective. This is only a 15-minute price chart, so we're already starting to see a bit of a rollover here. So the question is, at this point, we've got sort of a short-term range here, resistance at what did I say here? Roughly $5 or so. Yeah, this is right around $5 per share. And then to the downside, you've got this roughly $4.60 per share area. So this is sort of your short-term trading range at the moment, and this will give you an indication of where things are likely to be headed next. If we do see a break above roughly $5 here, we could start to see a movement back into roughly $5.20, right around there. But if we do see a break below 460, I think that would be a more significant event because I think that would suggest that this near-term bounce is over. And then if we did break below that point, that would also mean that we're also breaking through the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement of this most recent ascending move. So it would be the shorter-term price move. And that would then suggest that share prices would probably be moving back toward just above 420, roughly 425, no pun intended. So these are the levels that I would be watching here, and I would be more concerned about a break below 460 because I do think that suggests that we could possibly be in for a retest of those prior lows, and that this upward trend movement might be finished. Here's the current market update for CANOPY Growth, stock ticker CGC. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.